Hey guys and gals out in YouTube land, Tony is Po-Boy Adventures. Nice, pretty March day, and we're going to take a little walk, talk about some things that's getting ready to happen on YouTube land for Po-Boy Adventures. This is sort of an introduction to the Using What You Got series. I've been backpacking off and on for, gosh, since the 90s. Anyhow, we tried to get by with what we had and to go as light as we could. Then later on in life, I met a guy that had hiked the AT, actually worked with him. He was my partner there at the fire department for so many years. He showed me a way to lighten the load, so different things I could do. And what I thought I'd do would get over here and we'll walk a little bit, kick back, check out some of the property, and I'll check back with you here in just a little bit, and then we'll get wherever we're going. Not windy, but anytime you're out in the wind this time of year, always be watching for widowmakers and other things that may fall out and conk the old noggin and make a bad trip. Let's walk on down through here just a little ways. Said we've run all over these woods when we was kids. It's funny how some of the same little places that we went to when we was kids felt like we was gone forever. I mean, we would hike down through here, and you know, when we started out as 6, 7, 8 years ago, or I mean 8 years old, we would take to these woods and run around, and we think we was gone all day long. Fast forward 40 years later, 45 years later, and some of the places that we take off to and go, and we're thinking, my goodness, we barely went even a mile and a half. Got family. My brother's done a lot of work in this area, so we'll go and see what he's done, maybe set up. We'll catch you right back. Speaking of my brother, I believe that was his truck I hear off in the distance. If y'all can pick it up on camera for the wind or not, but I believe that's his truck. So we're either going to go down into the bottoms, or we're going to go up here on the ridge. The bottoms might be better for today where the wind's at, so might be able to get quieter anyway. So we're going to traverse on along here and see what we got coming. Nice day. Wind's already calming down, just no longer than I've came. So, all right. I'm hoping the camera's getting everything. Let's head on over into Bigfoot country. Hi. We'll be right back. I'm back. I ever tell you how much I hate spiders? I watched a video from Man's Adventures. I think he shot it a couple years ago, and he was hiking somewheres up around in Harlan County somewhere. and he must have been the first one on the trail. And I just run through a big old mess myself. I know what he's going through. I despise spiders. But anyway, trying to figure out which way I'm gonna go. I might want to get my map out here, and I need to go ahead and do some other things. So what I'm gonna ask right now is you all tell me. You can put it in the comments below, or what's some of the things that would be interesting for videos other than just seeing an old fat man out here in Kentucky foothills walking around. If that's what you like, that's what I like. That's what I'll be doing. But I would like to know what you would find interesting. And some of the things I am going to do is out here and show you all some skills that might help you later on. Show you some ways to lighten your loads. Bring a bunch of stuff to the woods and show you different ways that we can set stuff up. I always go to the woods with some kind of a shelter, and some way of making fire. I can survive without food, but I've always got water or ways of obtaining water. I always bring at least a quart, if not more. So if you gradually make your kits up, it's a whole lot better than just running out and saying I want to get the best and the greatest. It's to show that you can go to the woods, enjoy yourself in the woods, and on what you've got, the budget that you have, stuff that you've already obtained. It's a little heavier, maybe, may not be the lightest stuff, but throw a little bit of money back. And then as stuff comes down, more people gets in the market, things will come down. Titanium's come down already. Titanium used to be the cat's meow of what everybody wanted because it was so lightweight, especially when you was trying to backpack. Because when you're backpacking, especially if you're through hiking like my buddy Scott did, everything that you have to sustain yourself is on your pack, and on your back rather, in your pack. So that's where the lightweightness comes. And like a day like today, it won't be that, it's not unpleasant. Now it's going to get a little cooler tonight. So that's why if you have a way of making a fire, sustaining some shelter, some cover, and that way you can stay dry and stay warm. And then the fire will help you with your water if you don't have nothing else but just a way of a container that's capable of being able to boil water. Bring it to a rolling boil for about 3 to 5 minutes. Let it cool off. It may not taste the best, especially depending on where you got it, but it'll be safe to drink and keep you hydrated and keep you surviving. So always have a plan for what you would do if unexpected happened and you cell phone you snapped it or something, then you have to wait for somebody to come. So do what you can survive on how you can while they're tracking you to come find you. I always tell somebody what you're planning on, an estimated time. If you're saying I'm gonna go for a 2 or 3 hour hike and you end up being longer and you can get a hold of them, let them know so your people won't worry. But if you're going on an overnighter and you get 5 miles in and you hurt yourself and you can't go no further, you may have plans for somebody to come pick you up the next day at another point. It's important to stay close to where the route that you have told people you're going to take, and try to stay away of signaling. I've got whistles. I've got a colored bandana because you may not feel like yelling and screaming, but you can blow a whistle, grab attention, wave a flag, you know, anything that breaks the foliage and stuff up. So different things. Have a plan in place and have a plan in here always, and don't never lose your train of thought, and don't never lose hope. You've always got hope as long as you got a plan. So let's get on down the trail just a little bit. I'm gonna have to figure out which way I'm going, and I'll catch y'all back in just a little. All right, I'm back for a little bit. Battery did go dead. I wanted to check back with you. I changed cameras, See how this one does wind-wise. I'm getting ready to head uphill just a little bit and off to the left of me, the way I'm looking. Right back there behind me. See on my shoulder. Bigfoot country, as I like to kid everybody. I believe there's something out there that people's finding that they think's something else that we're not accustomed to. And can Bigfoot be around? Why not? And if he's out there, maybe one of these days we'll locate him. We'll sure have some fun out enjoying the Bluegrass State, Commonwealth of Kentucky in the meantime. And we'll probably go some other places too. But hopefully we'll be camping soon. I'm ready for some overnighters, 2 or 3 dayers, road camping. Another video I'm going to shoot soon is making do with I'm making a tent, I guess you would say. I got several tarps and a canopy, and I'm going to fix it onto a trailer. Actually put the canopy over the trailer anyway. I will work on shooting some snippets of that video soon. We'll haul it over to somewhere where I've got access to set up, maybe pull an overnighter over there. See how that works out. I like to be in the ability to have some cover when I'm camped out, because it never fails. Seems like at least one day, whenever I'm camping, the Lord blesses us with a monsoon. I know we've got to have water, but I'm hoping it don't come every day that I camp. That's why I'm doing this canopy configuration. I'm going to put a net over the cot system that I'm using, and we'll just see how it works out. You don't have to have the latest, greatest, and you don't even have to have a camper to go camping. I mean, I've camped for lots of times with just a tent and a cot, sleeping on the ground on a sleeping bag. Bushcrafting's got a little popular, so I'm getting ready to try some of the tarp camping. Just clean out where you're going to sleep when you're sleeping on the ground. Cowboy it. See how it works. Alright. Enough of me rambling again. Let me get over through here and I'll shoot a little B-roll maybe and find out where we're going to set up. Maybe go over what's in my pack. Unless something else happens between here and there and I have another brainstorm, something else I want to say. We'll see you just a little bit on up the trail. We're going uphill now. I think that's something. Here I was thinking I was going to go down the bottom, but now we're going uphill. Joy, joy. Alright. I shall return. I went a little further, made it back on here to talk to y'all a minute. I see used to be a trail through here. Maybe it's that right there. Yeah, I believe it is. Anyway, if you don't know your territory that you're walking in, it's always a good idea, even if you do know the territory you're walking in, it's a good idea to have a compass, map with you. You never know when you might need it. I'm on the back side of our family shooting range. I'll sit here for a minute and make sure I don't hear no shooting going on. Nope. We're good. Shouldn't be nobody over here but us anyway. Unless we bring them, of course. Anyhow, and what a beautiful day. I don't know if this camera picks up it probably does pick up more wind than my budget GoPro. And this is not state-of-the-art, high-quality camera, but hence Po' Boy Adventures gets by on a Po' Boy budget, or if you want to call it no budget. Again, just some stuff that I picked up here, there, and yonder for nothing hardly. I think these cameras right here is going for 50, 60, maybe under $100 on Amazon, depending on what you get. Now, it's supposed to have night vision. Some of them do. This one doesn't. Of course, that's next. If I can get somebody on a budget, my financial advisor or my wonderful wife, if I can get my budget worked out. Got some friends that's give me a thermal imaging like camera. So if we decide to go looking for Bigfoot or something else at night, and I get me a new camera that's got some night vision and some lighting boots or whatever you want to call the shotgun things or something on the top of them there. Anyway, if we get all this working out, we'll do some nighttime stuff. Right now I'm just doing the daytime stuff, hikes, and depending on who goes with me, if they're scared or not. Kidding. I'll do a shout out to some of the people I've been following on YouTube right here in Kentucky. Man's Adventures, Frontier Adventures. Keith Ward. It's funny how we get to knowing people by their YouTube channels and may not never ever know their names. But anyway, so check him out. There's a few more starting out. We'll get some subs, and I think it's just a good thing for us to mention each other and help each other out. One of these days, maybe we'll all get around and sit around the campfire and have some coffee. Maybe do a little overnighter or 2 or 3 nighters. Have a meet and greet or something or other. I don't know. But anyway, we'll work on all that. Check these guys out. Get a chance, sitting around and wanting something to do. But starting to be springtime, probably a lot to do. So we'll see how things work out and how things pan out. I'm hoping that I'll get more time to shoot some more videos. It won't be nothing but just me being lazy if I don't. I've been lazy enough. I started this channel back in, heck, I don't remember. It's several years old. Not got much video content on it all, so I'm going to try to do some little few things. This one probably one of my longer videos, time I get it all put together. But I'm thinking about 15-20 minute snippets. What to look for when you're in the woods. How to survive an unexpected overnighter in the woods. We may do some reviews on some mapping software. I've got a map running in my pocket right now. Let's see if it's still working. Yep, it sure is. I purchased this map. It's a backcountry navigator for backpacking and what have you. Used it on the Buck Creek float on my channel here. It kept right on the river, showed us where we was at. I know where the cave systems and stuff was that I've been looking for. Actually found a few of them. Didn't get out and explore them, but we was able to find them. They're there. We'll probably try to go back and do some of that. It's keeping up with me right now. It sure is, and it's a good little thing. It's not a substitute for a paper map. Well, it might be, but you should always try to keep a paper map handy too, in case battery dies. You fall on this thing, crack a screen, and it's a useless piece of paperweight in your pocket. It don't crack a screen and hurt your backside in the process. So, getting a lot of sun behind me. I'm gonna head up through here. Cross over. Man, that wind's terrible. I think I will go on over the hill here. See if it don't chill out a little bit, where I can at least be heard. Oops. don't do like I did. Start walking through the woods, and next thing you know, you're walking into a log because you're looking down to make sure you don't step in a hole. Or worse. I know there's a trail right here. Now my question is to go that way. Okay. Or go this way. Right here. Decisions. Or I could just blaze right down there. Creek's over that way. Whoops. Got off camera, didn't I? I know that's going to do that. I knowed it. I don't pay attention when I'm fiddling with my electronic devices or navigational devices, and y'all got the big side of my big ear, I bet. Says we hit the north. Something just fell out of the tree. Maybe Bigfoot says down here throwing stuff at me. Here's a little scallywag. That's right. That ought to put us right on target down to the woods, down there to the creek. Good thing too, if you're down here and you're checking out new mapping programs, to bring the stuff with you to verify that the maps are correct, your compass heading is correct on your compass heading is right on your electronics. See nobody up here. It's too windy on the ridge to go up there and sit up like I wanted to do. We've never heard nothing but a bunch of wind. I'm not hearing probably nothing but a bunch of wind right here. But anyway, let's walk just a little further, see where we're going to get to, and I catch a break from this wind, I may sit up and make a cup of coffee, have y'all back until we find something better to do. Until we find something more interesting to talk about besides me just rambling on. I'll shut this thing down for a minute and I'll catch y'all right back. Well, remember how I was talking about inexpensive po' boy budget? I think my camera probably works. I'm gonna have to break down and buy me some more SD cards from that $60 camera, and I'm getting ready to change out my GoPro knockoff battery. '18 is when I got these. I put a 1, I've got 4 of them. I put a 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I try to make sure I rotate them through that way. That way I've got a little extra assurance that hopefully they won't develop a memory. Now, a lot of the new batteries won't develop memories, but anyway, we'll go back to the GoPro, hook her back up, continue on down through there. After I took 5 or 10 minutes sitting here trying to figure out why my camera won't work, I come to the realization is, oh, it's because I didn't look at it right. It's got a little thing there, it says SD card, and it's got how many minutes is left. Well, it was double zeros, triple zeros. I should know better. I should have deleted it and had a blank card. It's only 4 gigabytes, so I've got to get me some bigger cards. But anyway, all the joys of remembering how to do things again. So I sat down here and thought I'd take a break. Might get me a little drink of water. Change batteries out. Change to the, I'm going to change you all back to the GoPro if I think it'll work. Turn it back on here and see. It may be dead. Here we go. I think I've got some, yeah, I've got full bar, or full camera. Alright. Turn it back off here just a second. We'll turn it back on here in a minute. I'll get her hooked back up here and we'll go on down there out of the wind. Heard a chainsaw going on up here. Sounds like little brother's up here doing some work. He's working. I'm playing. I'm just a sorry individual. Oh, po' boy, fat boy, whatever you want to call me. Adventures continue. Be right back. Breezy day. Beautiful day. Oh, there's a trail goes right on across the ridge there. Definitely Bigfoot country. Well, what am I watching, Tony? Watch here. What you're doing here. Definitely Bigfoot country behind me. All that thickness. Gotta love it. Lord to do. Got a lot of property just to walk around on our own. We don't have to worry about permission. I guess we got automatic permissions from family. Sometimes, most of the time, for the good parts of this, our family. Go over there and play around all you want. We don't care. That's what we're doing. End up getting on the neighbor's property here in a little while. Of course, he's cool too. He don't say a whole lot. As a matter of fact, he'd probably join us if he knows who's down here. He ain't working. Maybe one of these days I'll get a hold of him. We'll see if he wants to come down here too and hang out. Again, what we was talking about earlier about when you're little. We used to walk down here when we was little, and we thought we'd gone for days and for days and for days. I mean, we thought we was gone. You know, it was going to take us. If we didn't leave out of here by a little after lunch, we weren't going to make it home for supper. I'm going to head right through this little trail right here, and we should bisect into a little piece of woods where I was at that one day that me and Sadie come down here. Should be right across the hill here. So I'll catch y'all back in just a little bit, and we might talk about a little something else. One thing I thought I'd do as I walk through the thicket, I told you I wasn't going to put it on camera, but I come to mind too. I thought, whenever you're walking, especially if you're thinking I ain't gonna make it out for the night, I've got to start looking ahead. And once you start doing it, start looking around for stuff that you could use for fire tinder. An old bird's nest. There's stuff that's tinder that may be off the ground. Some people call it possum mentality. Anything that you might think I could use that later. Might be a piece of fat wood, a piece of pine, cedar. Fat wood, you can scrape it off with your knife back and ferrule rod, and the next thing you know, you've got a good hot fire going, almost like pouring kerosene on it. But when you're out here walking, don't just be walking. If you've got it in mind, okay, I'm gonna get over here to where I can make me a shelter. Be ready to, as you walk to that shelter or that spot that you're thinking about, pick stuff up, stick it in your pocket, stick it in your pack. Look up what you can. I've got some fire starter and stuff in here, and we're going to do a little using what I got cooking, I think, and we'll see how that goes. Right down here, I'm gonna go down here and check the creek, and then might go right up here. May have to cut me a rake, but anyway, I'm gonna go find me a little spot to clear out. There's a log. I might go down there and sit on it. It's a little lower than what I would normally because it would probably be water too, but maybe not. All right, so we'll be right back here in just a little bit and get down here closer to the creek, see what's happening, and I'll check in with my boys. They was worried about me coming to the woods and it windy, so I guess they love me. I love my boys too. One of these days I'll get them down here to do some adventuring with me, maybe, when they ain't working so hard. So we'll be right back here in just a little bit, and I'll see if I find us a place to sit and chat a minute, maybe make a cup of coffee. All right, this is where we came the last time. Get down here. this is not the ideal prime location to do all this stuff. However, in a pickle, we've got running water right over there behind me, right about right there, right down in that creek. There's running water, so it's semi-clean. We would still want to boil it, and I'm going to make some coffee here in a minute, so I'm going to boil it anyway. You would still want to boil it and or filter it. Now Sawyer makes a real good filter. I've got 2 of them. Got a bigger one I've not used yet. The little mini one. The mini seemed like when I used it on the river, seemed like it clogged up on me. Maybe I didn't back flush it, do maintenance on it. I'm gonna check into it and see. When I got home and did a little maintaining on it, run some regular tap water through it, it seemed like it did better. So maybe I didn't back flush it the time that I tested it, or maybe I didn't do something wrong. I'm sure that I didn't do exactly what I needed to do. All right, now what we was talking about, using what we got. When we was trying to go lighter, me and my brother David and Kevin, Mike, my neighbor, was around the bend and up the hill. He'll attest, and he'll remember that. Jamie, Bubba Carr, he'll remember all this. We all went to Walmart, and we just thought we was styling and profiling after our first backpacking trip, where we had about 70 pounds on our back. Yep, I ain't kidding. Too much food. We took Coleman propane tanks, not this butane like I've got in my pack over here. We took the lantern bottles and propane single burner, and way too much food. We thought we'd done pretty good because we found us a little cheap backpack. I mean, no, not backpack, I'm sorry, backpacking style mummy bag. Again, I was a lot smaller then. I don't get in mummy bags now, I just use blankets. But we found them, got them, you know, like the ones that we've got now at Walmart. It's probably rated for 40, 50 degrees. Well, we got down to the camp. The backstory being, they was afraid to go when there's too much snakes. So, you know, you're going to have obstacles everywhere, every time you go. I've not seen many snakes when I've been backpacking or camping. Very seldom do I see one. We did see one when we drive camping one day. But anyway, fast forward back to where we was at. So we didn't want to go when it was too warm. So we decided to go late March, early April, I believe it was. So not too far than what it would be right now. We hiked about 3 or 4 miles. After we took them packs off, I wish we'd had it on camera. I was high stepping, couldn't make my knees. I couldn't get my knees on the ground. I mean, my knees was hitting. It was like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. It was comical. We set up tents. All of us I think me and David stayed together. We set up tents that night. And our mummy bags was, 40, 50 degree bags. Well, in Kentucky, and it had rained, it had rained like 2 weeks before we went, every day, like it just had last week. I'm not talking about just real raining. It rained. There wasn't a dry piece of wood in the woods hardly. So we found what we could find, and we got everything that wet that we could find and piled up next to it, to the fire, and tried to dry it out. That night we went to bed. When the fire went out, about midnight or so, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, we woke up about froze to death. I'm talking cold. It got down into the 20s or 30s probably. And that was, for us, first or second. That was our first backpacking trip, I believe. But anyhow, so we was miserable. Too much weight, too much stuff to carry. So the next trip we decided that we was going to go. So we found these little sterno stoves. Y'all know what sterno is. Little cans of some kind of a gel that you can light, and it burns clean. Hardly no smoke. So we found those little sterno aluminum stoves. And I was down there piddling in the basement through some of my camping gear. that I'd acquired over these last 20, 30 years. And I seen one of them. And I was thinking, I can repurpose this. It's not that bad just to carry the stove, but if you carry the sterno fuel, it's a little heavy, but the stove itself. So they've got these little folding titanium and aluminum stoves that you can get, and you can put a small, I guess it's considered for stealth camping. So what I thought I would do is I'd bring that down here, and if I find enough dry wood, I may split a little bit out, process a little bit out, and see if I can make a pot or a cup of coffee on that stove. So that's over there in my pack. I'm getting ready to go over and get it. So I'll shut up, go gather me up. You don't want to see me gathering and sawing wood. Although I do have a pocket gun, my pocket boy over there in that pack. I'm gonna check it out and see how it does. But you don't want to see me processing a bunch of firewood, okay? I'll do that just in a video by itself one day, just to show y'all how to baton and make fire sticks and stuff like that. We'll come down here and do that one day, but I'm not going to bore y'all with that today. All right, so let me go over here and dig through my pack here. I just wore a little 511 pack that I had. It's not the one I had the last time, a little bit bigger, so I can put me a little more stuff in it. You know, that way I can carry all kinds of stuff. There it is. A little heavy, but rugged pack, lots of room, organized well. To me personally, I think a little dump pack would be just as good. Not have a bunch of stuff on the outside, just put everything stored away in nice little spots inside it. Just open the top of it and dig through and find it. But that's a rucksack, I guess you'd call it. But anyway, all right, I'll shut up. And the wind's always blowing up on top. And we'll be right back. I'll gather up some stuff and we'll see how we go from there. All right. Depending on how hot it's going to get, whether aluminum will melt or not, I should remember this from my fire service. But there is the repurposed sterno stove with just a bundle of little twigs like this that I gathered up in about 10 minutes. And I've got it in here, and we've got a fire going pretty good. There's a lot of heat coming off that right now. I'm going to look right here before I put my water on and see if I can get this right here situated right, and it don't melt down the stove sides. We might be on to something. Again, this cost me absolutely nothing except for the $4 or $5 it costed 25 years ago. And you can still, unless it fails, you can still use sterno fuel canisters. Actually, the stove is made to be upside down. What we're seeing on top right there is supposed to hold the sterno's fuel. So I may have messed up on that part of it. However, the cup that I've got, what I was wanting was just to set it on there, and I believe I can still do that. So if I can't, we'll back up and punt. But the door opened up, no wind come around, and all the wind's been funneled up. So we can take and just keep on feeding wood into it and allow it to keep right on burning. And before you know it, we'll have us enough coals and stuff in here to boil some water. So there you go, repurposed sterno stove. Check back with me here in just a second and let's see if we're going to have enough heat generated there to boil water. Alright, I've realized it's been a while since I'd used that sterno stove. If you turn it the right way, like not upside down, it works a lot better. Let me see if I can. I don't know how to spin it on this phone. I'll turn you around. As you can see there, and you can see there. So the aluminum's holding up for now. It's definitely gonna be nasty. I'll have to find me a little bag or some sort to put it in. Go down here in the woods and Mandalorian ringtone, and everybody's bothering me. Not really bothering me. Everybody's trying to contact me because I sent them a picture saying bushcraft. The bushcraft stove and for coffee. So I'm gonna make me a little cup of coffee here, and might set the phone down here on the ground to continue recording. May have coffee with me. So I'll be right back. Well, looks like the coffee was a success, and I still got coals in the makeshift stove, Sterno stove, so everything's good. Coffee is actually too hot to drink, and you better make sure you've got something on your hand when you try to take it off the fire. Y'all wanted bloopers, po' boy bloopers. It's a good thing I wasn't over there. You would hear me going, "Yow, that's hot," and slinging my hand. Of course, I left the coffee alone so it didn't ruin it. So, but I've got my coffee here. As soon as it cools off enough, I'm going to have a little sup with you. And it smells good. Of course, it's just Folgers singles. So, let's talk what we was talking about earlier. About what would you all like to see Po' Boy Adventures do? Fat Boy Adventures, whatever you want to call me. I'm cool with it. Like I said, I just want to get out and have some fun. And I want to let people that maybe unable to get out anymore, don't have the time to get out anymore, I want to let them have the enjoyment of watching and learning. And like I said, maybe I'll get my boys involved. Might get them down here. I know, let's see, what is it? Real Big Monkey, I think his name is. Good. I'm still getting text. I'm not out of cell service range down here, so. Yep. Anyway, Real Big Monkey, I think it was, is his name. He gets his boy to go help him shoot the videos. It's pretty cool. Check his channel out as well. And if I don't forget how to do this on YouTube, I'll put little cards of all these people that I've been talking about. I'll stick cards in this video so y'all can check them out too. I'm talking with Jason and what is Crafty Crow. I've been corresponding with them, and maybe I can get them to come down one day, and maybe Josh's Adventures. And, what is Sean's? I can't remember what Sean's YouTube channel is. Anyway, we'll all get together, maybe even go down to B-Rock, do a little drive camp one afternoon or something other, if they can get away. I know how their jobs are. I had that job for a long time. Fire department schedule, pretty wild. But the good news is you could take a day off and have 5 days off, so it worked in good for the camping, if you wanted to do that. But maybe we'll get all together and we'll have that to go on. We can share each other's experiences and have some good eats around the campfire. Put us a big kettle of soup beans on and listen to the frogs beller all night. Peaceful down here right now. Just got checked in on a while ago and to make sure that I hadn't been conked in the head. And said it's awful windy to be in the woods, isn't it? And I said, well, down here where I'm at, it's actually pretty nice. And it is really nice. One of the texts I got from the guys a while ago when I showed them a picture of what I was doing, they said, watch for copperheads in all these leaves. I did. I went around and looked around. I ain't seen anything come. Of course, they would blend. They'd blend really good. I should have. My makeshift broom that I made the last time I was here, lost a peg. But I should have cut me another one, I guess. Should have cut me another one and raked this all back, but I raked enough of it back to where it wouldn't catch nothing out. That little aluminum sterno repurposed stove did quite well. I'm tickled with it, pleased. Like I said, though, it'll probably be nasty. Maybe it'll fold up on the inside of itself, and it won't be as bad. I'm fixing to go over here in a minute and we'll check it out. Empty it out. Go get a little water and pour on it. But for now, I'm going to drink me a cup of coffee. It's still hot. But let's try it here. Cheers, guys. Ouch. Still warm. So, good coffee though. Good coffee in the woods. So again, just let me know in these comments down below here. This video probably a little lengthy. I'll have several different sections, several different footages from different cameras. I enjoy nature. I enjoy getting out. I don't get out as much as I should. It's just because it's not that I don't have time anymore. It's just I don't have thrive to do it, and I've got to change that. I got to get out down here and do some walkabouts and do some enjoying nature, and then a lot of stuff down here could be cleaned up and make a decent little campsite right here. Especially if you're going to hammock camp. If you're going to hammock camp, these gobs of trees right here that we can string a hammock in. With a little or nothing, you could put a shelter up. I could tie on this tree right here behind me, make a plow point right here, and put me a long fire right here. Ground right here where I'm at's a little moist, but like I said, it's rained for the last 5 days. Not the last 5 days, but last week it rained 4 out of 5 days. I believe it was last week. And this right here is down here next to the creek in the bottoms, so it catches a lot of water. And this is probably not the ideal spot, but it's on our property. Nobody can come down here and say, what are you doing, blah, blah, blah. So, but right up there might be another little spot, a little farther away from, I mean, we could come down here and grab water and go back up the hill. It won't be no big issue. But I've always liked this little area here. I always wanted to come down here and camp. Never did because of a lot of the water moisture, and I figured it would be a mosquito haven in the summertime especially. But bugs ain't too bad right now. My fire's just about gone out. I had a little bit. I'd say if you get a fire, keep a fire going and keep some smoke going, you'll be all right. So, all right. But again, just let us know what you want to see, and we'll try to produce videos that people like, because it's all about getting more people interested in the outdoors, plus my videos all the way through, and I want them to be enjoyable. And we might get out here and play around looking for Bigfoot and what have you. You know, a lot of people believe that Bigfoot's here, and I happen to be one of those that I think that there's something here. Whether it's Bigfoot or whether it's somebody messing around with us, we'll find out. I like exploring the unknown. It's always been fun to explore the unknown. So we may do that. We may do a little ghost hunting. I know Josh dabbles in some ghost hunting. We've always been interested in ghost hunting, ghost stories, and so we just I'll play it by ear. And I will do more bushcrafting things. My next thing I want to try to find is a better camera and some lighting system so I can do some shooting at night. So let me know what kind of cameras y'all use that gives you good success. Let me know what to steer clear of. That's what YouTube should be used for, especially if people that's in the same hobbies. We ought to be in it to help each other. Oh, it's good coffee. Cooled off of that now. So, all right, I'm gonna sit here and finish up my coffee. I think I've got a little snack in my bag back here. Put on a little energy and clean up camp. go over here to the creek and clean this sterno stove off. And maybe if I don't hear something down here, it sounds like Bigfoot or something else going on, exciting, I'll catch y'all on the way back out. So until next time, in case something happens, stay out in the woods and always have a plan. Think about that plan, check into that plan, and to coin a phrase from the A-Team's leader, Colonel Hannibal Smith, I love it when a plan comes together. Until next time, guys. Well, I made it out of the bottom, and unless Bigfoot's took arms, he wasn't there. He did, however, come out there a little faster than what I expected, due to somebody out there shooting. And I may go get my something or other and go back down and investigate, because that probably wasn't on us, but they was mighty close. Big guns too. Anyway, I got a little bit further to go. Appreciate y'all coming along with me. I'm a little bit winded for an old fat boy. That last hill there, coming up it pretty fast. Anyway, appreciate y'all coming along with me. And again, whatever you're doing, just get out and enjoy the foothills, mountains, lakes, rivers, streams, or just your property here in Kentucky. It's beautiful, it's awesome, and you need to know where it's at in case we ever have to go hunting or go hiding, or just maybe we're just looking for ghosts or Bigfoot. But anyway, again, what I said down there when we was having coffee, think of some stuff that you'd like to see, and we'll try our darndest to make a plan. Plan for that plan and make that plan happen, because here at Po' Boy Adventures, we love it when a plan comes together.